Hello! Welcome back to another Scrim School ScrimCast. If you are new here, I am your host, Bobby Sox. I do PvP things, decent at best, but one thing I do well is bring some really cool guests together. The guests this week are Ramzy, who's in the chat, my dude, and Redeemerrr. Absolute Trials Warlords. I'm super excited to have these guys on here. The way that Scrim School works is the first hour-ish, we spend some time meeting the guests of the week. We talk with them, we share our opinions on state of the games, things like that. And then hour two-ish, we pull in chat, we pull in viewers, we pull in students, and we teach. Or if there's nobody that's willing to learn, we pull in some of the better players, and the goal is to try and beat our two guests. So let's unmute our guests of the week, and we'll do some intros. Yeah. Gentlemen, how's it going?
Was good.
Thank you for being in here this week. I'm looking forward to it. This is going to be a good one. I've been watching both you guys for a while, so it's kind of fun to have you on here.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. So let's start it out. We're going to do some intros. Tell who you are, what you do. Doesn't have to be just in-game. Can be what you enjoy in real life as well. Let's kick it off.
All right, I'll start. I'm Redeemerrr. I stream at Twitch. I basically just help people with comp or trials. And I float in the back of the map on Top Tree Dawnblade with a sniper usually. So yeah, that's what I do.
Ramzy, what you got?
Yeah, I'm Ramzy. I also stream on Twitch, and I also help people with trials and comp, and just kind of I enjoy teaching people. But we basically jam out and vibe out, man. Just kind of it.
I dig it. Hopefully, Ramzy, you got some sleep. I know Redeemerrr didn't, but you were gaming.
Oh yeah, I did. I got sleep. I actually just woke up.
Nice, dude. Nice. Let's see if I can turn you up a little bit, because you're a little quiet, Ramzy.
Yeah, my mic's a little messed up, man.
Oh, that's better. At least I can see you hitting the yellow bar now. All right, so I don't know if you two have tuned into a Scrim School before. So kind of what the process is we discuss play of the game, how we're feeling about it. We ask some questions, chat asks questions as well, and then we jump in and do some practicals. So let's kick it off with my favorite topic of Beyond Light, stasis. How you feeling about it?
I don't know. It's a little annoying, but I think it's gotten a lot better since they nerfed the cold snap and like the ice flare bolts and stuff on the warlock. I don't think it's that bad. It's pretty annoying when you get frozen a lot, but I mean, I would take this over like mountaintop and stuff like that in a heartbeat. So, for sure.
Big facts.
Yeah, it's just really annoying sometimes. Like the Glacianade slam thing or the Glacianade slide through thing is kind of, I find that a little ridiculous. Like the week where we didn't like figure that out, it was great because I wasn't getting frozen that much. And then the Glacianade thing happened, and I'm getting ran by it.
Yeah, the Glacianades are they're interesting for sure. Have you guys personally tried stasis or played on it as a class?
Yeah, I started with Warlock because it looked the most lucrative to me because you could have like a ton of fragments and like 2 aspects. I think you can have 4 fragments on the Warlock, but they nerfed it, and so I just went back to Top Tree Dawn on Warlock. But I have been playing quite a bit of Stasis Titan, and that's like my new favorite class. Like the mobility on it is insane, and the synergy with like the resilience and everything is just, it's really nice.
It's pretty fun to watch for sure.
Yeah, I've been using the Hunter Stasis a lot. I really enjoy that. And the Titan one as well, because you can Titan skate on it. So,
Sweet, I dig it. So, what what else? How you feeling about Beyond Light as a whole? What's your favorite points first?
Favorite points probably would be like the new raid. I don't think there's like a lot to talk about in terms of like PvP. Really, the only thing that Beyond Light did for PvP was add the new subclasses.
Mm-hmm.
But I think like my favorite parts so far have been Europa and just the raid as a whole. It's probably like one of my favorite raids in Destiny, for sure.
I 100% agree with that. Ramsey, what you got?
Yeah, I agree with him. I like this is the first time that I've actually been raiding every week for like 3 times or more. Like last week I did the raid like 6 times. Regardless of like rewards and such, I think the PvE aspect is amazing. But losing a fairly good amount of maps and
Right.
yeah, that stuff, it's a little iffy. I do think that the sandbox is amazing. Yeah, just some, you know, a little, I don't know, a little tweaks with stasis, and I think it could be like the best sandbox that we've ever had.
I 100% agree. I definitely enjoy it. I really do. I 100% feel like the sandbox is the best we've seen, at least in quite a few years. Just for the variability, you know. You can play with any weapon class and it still feels like it's competitive. You know. So let's talk classes. Obviously, Redeemer, we know that you are a Dawnblade floaty boy. Ramsey, what is your main?
Oh, dude, I'm a hunter main, man.
Okay. Obviously, Redeemer is Dawnblade, but what subclass you main?
Before stasis I main spectral, but now I see myself switching between spectra and stasis.
Okay. Cool. So we can actually talk about that. This is one of my favorite questions here. What do you feel is something that needs to be buffed with your class? Because obviously it's your main. And then we'll follow it up with one thing that you feel needs to be nerfed.
I'm not gonna lie, I really don't think there's much that needs to be buffed on like Dawnblade. Really, I don't know. Maybe I guess like the hit detection on like the swords when you're popping your super could be buffed. I guess like better
Oh
hit
my God.
detection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like the class as a whole, like the melee is really strong, the grenade's really strong, the movement's really strong. So I don't think there's a lot that needs to be buffed in that area. But nerf wise, I would say the celestial fire tracking and the fact that you can throw it across the like entire map is pretty strong. I think it should be like ice flare bolts maybe, where like it only has like a certain range of like
It's got
meters.
like a drop off.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that makes perfect sense. It doesn't only have to be about Dawnblade too. Like, are there any other buffs that you'd like to see for the class as a whole that may make you play on the other classes?
Yeah, I'd definitely like to see like a Nova buff, like just Nova Bomb. I think that class could be strong if it had like better melee and grenades. I don't know. Just like the neutral game is not that strong. There's like really no reason not to play top tree Dawnblade for Warlock. So I think all the other classes need to be brought up to that level.
I definitely feel that. I had huge respect to that one. I would love to see all the classes get a little love for Warlock for sure. Ramsey, what you got?
Yeah, so for Spectral, I think what needs to be buffed is the hit reg, man. I feel like they changed something with the hit reg or something, I don't know, but I've been having a lot of issues with like it actually like going to the person and killing them, because like I swipe and then I do the uppercut and it just doesn't like, I don't know, it doesn't like get to the person. But that definitely needs like some buff or something done with. And then I think what could be toned down is the smoke, because it's I don't know, like I feel like if it's kind of like stasis. It was like the stasis before like stasis, but now I don't know. I mean, I think and the super duration as well. I think the super duration is a little long, even though Behemoth is taking the cake on the super duration now. But I think if they buffed like golden gun, I don't know.
Okay.
Because
What
I feel like
specifically? Like Golden Gun as a whole time?
yeah, I think so. I think they need to increase like the damage resistance so you can't get one shot.
Okay.
And,
so you think like an armor buff?
Yeah, because I mean I would run Goldie more if I didn't get one shot at a super, and it was like
right.
yeah.
No, big facts. I think hit reg is a huge thing, just no matter which class you play. Anything that's got a roaming super or like a melee type hit. I've watched Sentinel Titans push people away. Me and Spec, I definitely light attack, heavy attacked a Titan in the air 3 times and ended up pushing him off the map on jab.
Dude, it's ridiculous.
I got the hit markers like I killed him, and it made the noise like I killed him, and he was still there, so I did it again, and he was still there, so I did it again, and I ended up just like force pushing him off the map. It was pretty amazing. But I think that's more of an engine thing than it is, or a peer-to-peer than anything else. I would just love to see that as a whole get tuned for sure.
I think it might be like a connection issue because like I don't know. I feel like if they knew how to fix it, they would have fixed it by now. Like it's been so long.
Oh yeah, absolutely, 100% agree. So we talked classes. Let's talk weapon types. Let's talk what do you like maining? What do you think is the most fun in a competitive setting, and what do you think is the most fun in just a messing around setting?
I don't know. I'd say the best guns in the game right now are pulses and hand cannons. I would say like No Time to Explain is just ridiculously strong. I'd say it's pretty much pay to win at this point. Like when you have that Arc Soul, like that Arc Soul team shot's better than my actual teammates in quick play. Like it's insane. And then like I'm having a lot of fun with Ace of Spades, like a lot of other people. And Ostringer is really fun right now. I'm trying to get a good True Prophecy, but I haven't got one to drop yet. So
You mean IS Luna?
no, yeah. That is Ostringer is Ice Luna, basically.
Exactly. Well, you do know that they pulled True Prophecy from the loophole when they added in the 7th Seraph, right?
I've heard that it can still drop, like it's still dropping for people. It's just like really, really rare now.
It's down to like a 0.1%.
Yeah, it's something like that. I turned in like 10,000 tokens the other day and I didn't get a single one. So.
Right. I mean, to be fair, I did that back last season with Dire when I was trying to farm for that God Roll Dire. And I turned in like 15,000 Crucible tokens. Didn't get a single one to drop. And then right afterwards, I went into comp, and my first comp game, I got one to drop with Snapshot and Rangefinder.
It's funny how that works, yeah.
Dude, it was wild. I was so mad. It was like I was just sitting there token farming. I got nothing. Jumped into the first game. I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah.
All right, Ramsey, what you got? What's your main for weapons?
Dude, honestly, Dire still feels amazing, and I've been using also Ace as well. 120s are amazing. Like they're really, really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Like and I enjoyed using them a fair amount. But when I mess around and stuff, like I used Heritage and Trusty. Trusty is amazing. Like Trusty's actually not like that bad. Like if you know how to like play distance good,
Mm-hmm.
you could frag out with that. It's
Trusty's
actually really fun.
Isn't it?
Trusty,
or no, that's
it's the scout rifle.
Yeah,
it's the scout rifle. It's the Randy archetype. Randy's throwing knife.
Gotcha.
But that's like really fun. I love using that, and I feel like this like sandbox you can use a lot more different things, and I do agree on the No Time to Explain that being very strong. It's like stronger than Vigilance.
Right.
But yeah, I feel like you don't get punished as much for not using like actually like meta weapons in this, because I've seen like people like Calico use bows and anything else, and it's fairly awesome to watch.
Yeah, no, I mean, really, Cal can pick up anything and um, absolutely dominate with it.
Yeah, that's true.
He's pretty nuts, just as a player as a whole. All right, let's get into the nitty gritty thing. So I'm sure everyone's seen the Face It rules. How do you all feel about them?
I think they're pretty good. Like honestly, like that shatter dive thing with the glacier nade is stronger than mountaintop, I would say. Like I would argue that.
Interesting.
But I don't know, we'll have to see, because I could see like Behemoth being really annoying and stuff like that. So we'll just have to see if like they end up nerfing stasis. And I have seen that they've been talking about like not allowing sunset weapons to be used, which I think is a mistake. But
really,
I don't know.
How come?
Yeah.
Explain.
I mean, I think like when you're like the fun part about like scrims and tournaments is watching the best players use the best stuff. So I think like you shouldn't handicap people, you know, just because it's sunset, you know, like it's still in the game technically. So
I mean,
and it's still the best option.
I definitely see that from a different perspective of what if there are newer players coming in that can't go get a Dire, can't go get mind benders, can't go get a, you know, a spare, obviously, or a beloved. Like the same argument goes for Fomenters, right?
Yeah. But you could like I would argue that mind benders is better than Fomenters, but again, like people wouldn't have it. That's just like more of a Bungie like not putting in more good loot issue,
right?
Than it is like a sunset weapon issue. I feel like I don't know. But we do not have like enough good loot to replace what's been sunset right now. Not even close.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Like, in terms of like weapons, like like comp PvP weapons, yeah, I agree, because there's not that many like 140s or shotguns that you can choose from. What you can only choose like what Foe Hunters, maybe Astro and
Seven Seraph, and then the raid one.
Yeah, but
I heard the raid one's really good.
Yeah, it is. It's just it just can't compete with like Foe Hunters and mind benders, because I mean they're aggressives and you don't need to hit the head for a one shot, you know.
Right. I mean, yeah, no, that definitely makes sense. I mean, Ramzy, how do you feel about the current rules? Is there anything that you'd like to see? I know that there was a hot take on in the Discord yesterday about 600s not being as oppressive. Do you feel that's the case?
Yeah, honestly, like yeah, now like in this sandbox I haven't really had an issue with like 600s like beaming me and running me over, so I think they'd be fine. I just think I think I fear is that 3 people would run it and then they'd just be spamming corners the whole time. I think that's what the fear is. Because spamming, it was more about holding the angle more than it was like how much damage it was doing, because like the amount of like bullets that you can output, like you can't like move from like a position that you can't get out of, you know.
Right, lane spam.
Yeah. The stasis thing, I don't know, I wish they like I don't know, I wish they didn't allow stasis, because like god dude, the Titan one, and I don't know, I don't know. Yeah,
interesting. Okay, I mean, I'm kind of on the other side of the fence with that I like to see the progression, you know. It's cool and all seeing the Dyers and the Spares and the Beloveds and the Fellwinters, but I mean it's been 2 years of that. Like I kind of enjoyed seeing a bit of a change towards it. Obviously, don't let everybody have stasis. You know, don't let each class run stasis like you could in the past with, you know, 3 classes running void, or yeah, like 3 characters running void. But I think overall, didn't think it was that bad. Even with Shatter Dive, as long as, you know, Titan Behemoth has theirs, it's still, in my opinion, it's still beatable anyway. That's just my thoughts on it.
Yeah, I would like to see them keep stasis in, but have it limited to 1 per class.
Yep.
I think for Shatter Dive to be allowed in Face it would need a cooldown or something, because it's just so ridiculous. Like, it's actually so stupid. Like, for an average player, it's not that good, like hard to play against, but for a good player doing it, like, it's basically a free kill every single time. And like, once it's 3v2, it's just so much harder to get out of that.
So Leclerc just jumped in and he says, do you guys feel that stasis without fragments and aspects is a decent balance for the class itself inside scrims and such? As in no Shatter Dive, no Titan Behemoth Slide, no slowing dodge.
Yeah. I actually, I think that'd be.
I think that'd be interesting, yeah. And then you could have it as like no limit on the stasis classes that way, and see how that plays out.
But would you feel that hunters would be picked for stasis versus something like a Goldie or a Arc Staff? Would it be picked over for that in higher level?
I think it would.
Yeah, because of like the ability to like freeze or slow someone down for a certain amount of time. I think that's just really strong.
Yeah, no doubt. The Shurikens or whatever.
Yeah, those Shurikens, if you slow someone, you can pretty much push for free with the shoddy and get a kill on them. Like, there's not a lot they can do. It's like being smoked, pretty much.
Right.
It's even more aggressive than smoke sometimes too.
As long as you have both your charges, yeah, absolutely. I mean, and it passes through and hits the next target too. You know, first one gets frozen, second one gets slowed. How do you feel about the 5-second timers now? Do you think it's too short? I mean, I spent like 7 hours in the Discord yesterday, just listening to everybody go on their rants. So I had quite a few talking points for this.
Yeah, I think the main goal is just to like prevent spawn trapping as much as possible, and like it's like try to have your teammates like spawn with you as much as possible, because getting split spawn against good players is, you know, very difficult to regroup, and it pretty much just snowballs like that. But yeah, I don't know. We'll just have to really wait and see and how it plays out and what people think about it. It's hard to predict that kind of thing.
Yeah, I know the big talking point was everyone was really mad at the loss of the 2 seconds, but I see it from the stance of it stops spawn splits and it stops spawn trapping. You know, because if you get a pick across the map and you push in, by the time you're there, the third's back up. So it feels a lot more flow. Exactly like Leclerc says. 5 seconds feels like a continuous gunfight.
I think it's a good thing for sure.
Ramzy,
I think it's a good thing as well. Yeah, because I don't know. For me, it's like I don't think there's. I get spawn trapping is like, you know, I don't know. I don't think it's that skillful, only because like anyone can really do it efficiently. So I feel like if you're in a continuous gunfight and then you get snowballed because they have a better shot and they're out teaming you, I feel like that's a lot more competitive than just getting split spawn and then getting 3v2'd almost every time. And plus it's just aggravating because you just sit there for like 20 minutes, 15 to 30, like 20 minutes, and you're just getting split spawn, and it's just like, it's very, very hard to recover. I don't even think the best teams could recover from like being that split spawn.
Unless you get a super and you know, pop it off and try and take it over that way. That's the only, I think that's the only time that I've, at high levels anyway, that you see that you get out of a split spawn.
Yeah.
I agree. I think that change is solid for sure. I really do. Yeah, exactly. It's either split spawn game or continuous gunfight. I do enjoy I enjoy the gun skill more than the hey push left, hey push right, hey push left, hey push right. You know, it really highlights your weapon skill versus who can run across the map fastest, or in Redeemer's case, who can Icarus dash the fastest.
True, yeah, true.
You know, You get your pick of the sniper in the back, and you Icarus dash twice, and guess what? You're in spawns.
Yeah, I mean the whole point of like respawn game modes is controlling the spawns pretty much, and like they'll have someone say, "Yo, hold this spawn. I'm gonna go push this," you know, with a
Yep.
sniper or something. So that's really the whole point of it.
Yeah, I dig it. Maps. Do you like the maps that are included? You think we should have just stuck with the same? Would you like to see more maps? What's a low-key map that you enjoy?
I don't really like the maps that they added, to be honest. I don't know. I would have rather like kept them the same maps, I think. I don't know. I've never really liked Anomaly in D1, and
I hate Anomaly, bro. But
yeah,
I get it.
Yeah, Anomaly is just like corridor after corridor, like room after room. Like there's no lanes really or anything.
Yeah.
Yep.
But Cauldron, like I don't mind it as much. I think Cauldron could be okay. But yeah, that just like it doesn't play the same. Like Exodus used to play so good in D1 like tournaments and scrims,
Yeah.
but it just doesn't play very well in this game. So
Yeah, I could see Cauldron being fine, because, I mean, I don't know. I think the mid is just the problem. The rest of the map is fine. But yeah, I think Exodus and Anomaly are kind of dog shit. But yeah, I love Dead Cliffs, and I always love Dead Cliffs. So.
Well, it's a good thing that you both picked that as the map. Which made it a lot easier for sure. I think Cauldron would be great if and only if the doors stayed open.
Yeah.
Like if the doors
Yeah.
were just archways,
Yeah.
that map would play so well. But
Yeah,
having to run
I
up, open a
agree.
door, and then stare at a red dot is fucking terrifying. You know,
yeah,
you
that's
slide
that's
and you're
always
like,
been the. I feel like that's always been the argument with Cauldron is like if only the doors weren't there or something like that, you know?
right.
Something to that effect.
And I mean, honestly, and face it, nobody's really going to pick those maps anyway. Let's be real. Those are the first ones voted off every time.
Yeah, but if I'm playing against Searu and Face It, I'm picking Cauldron.
Dude,
I'm
facts.
just not picking him.
Yeah, if you're playing Sergio, pick something like Cauldron or Anomaly and just get in real close.
Yeah, exactly.
Same rule
yeah.
applies for Leclerc. If you match Leclerc, pick a close range.
Yes, sir.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I would like them to add like Asylum back into this game and then see how that plays, but I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna add maps anytime soon. It doesn't seem like that's really high on their list of priorities at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, there's some raid bugs that need to be fixed, and obviously the Invincible Titan first, so that we can do a little bit, you know.
Not to mention all the skyboxes on the existing maps right now. and
Oh
stuff
my
like
god. Actually, Leclerc spent 15 minutes in last night's stream just hopping around Exodus and like found like 10 or 11 different spots that you can use to get off map. It was pretty wild. It was fun to watch for sure. I haven't really seen too many on the other maps as much. I don't know. Have you guys seen that?
I actually haven't been killed by that stuff, thank God, because I'd get like frustrated. But I was gonna ask, like, you guys think that Asylum would be too small with how like the movement works in this game, or would it be like the perfect like distance for scrims and stuff?
Well, I mean, look at Anomaly. Anomaly, where it's hard.
Shit's way small, dude.
Yeah, Anomaly's tiny.
Yeah, I think for 6s, Asylum would kind of be like a cluster, but for 3s, it would play pretty well. But yeah, I don't know. Asylum is just a well-designed map.
Yeah,
I loved Asylum. So I'm guessing both of you
too.
were D1 vets.
Oh yeah, dude.
Do you remember that map that was like the hive design, and it had like the bridge up top, and then like the center room that dropped down?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
How do you think
I
that would
think
play
that-
in D2?
I never really liked that map in D1, to be honest. but
Interesting. Okay.
I don't know. It did have the 2 lanes and then the middle lane that kind of like led up to the circle in the middle with the drop down, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
and then the 2 separate spawns. It was kind of symmetrical, but I don't know. I just didn't really like that map. I don't know. There's not a lot of maps that I think need to be brought back from D1. I think they should just like make new good maps, but Asylum is like a fan favorite map that I think should return at some point. But...
Oh, absolutely.
It's like Nuketown, dude.
Right. That's exactly what it is. That was one of the most common ones too. It was great. All right, so we got a question from chat. Lycan says, I know Gunslinger was brought up as a point earlier. I feel like Deadshot is a wasted perk now, so how would you rework it to make it more in line with the current standard of neutral game?
I don't really use golden guns, so I probably wouldn't be able to answer that well, to be honest.
That's a tough one, right?
Good question. Yeah, it is tough. Only because like I don't know what could maybe because that's a top tree perk. I do notice that you do hit more on 6-shooter than I feel like it has more. I definitely think it does have more like magnetism or aim assist with Deadshot, but I don't think it's enough to like have it as like a separate perk. So I feel like if they made it, dude, I feel like if it just had the armor, increase or something there, I feel like 6-shooter would probably be like insane because the kill potential.
Sure.
Yeah, either armor increase or rework it, right? Dude, maybe if it gave you like some health, dude.
Okay, like a health regen if you hit.
Yeah, and it's not armor, so like if you're getting shot at, and then you can just kind of regen every time you shoot someone.
Okay, kind of like a devour type.
Yeah. Because Warlock and Titans have their like supers or perks that give them their health back, and I don't really see that on Hunter that much.
Yeah, I mean Hunter is kind of, I think Bungie's idea with Hunter is high risk, high reward is kind of how that class is played out, or supposed to be.
Nerf them when Warlock is broken.
Always. That's the mentality. Oh, Warlock has a broken class. Nerf dodge.
Yo. I don't know. I don't think that changes. Even now with the dodge, with the stasis dodge, I don't think that was particularly needed. Maybe like 2 seconds, but like 4, dude. I don't know.
Do you think that it's needed though with back risk? Because I'm sure that's why the dodge was adjusted, is because of back risk.
But they could have made it to where once you equip Bakris, it would decrease all your mobility. So it would have like like the stat decrease, right? So it would have that like little thing that says it, because you know when you put on mods like protective light, says negative 10 strength and stuff like that. So maybe when you put on Bakris, it's like negative 4 seconds on dodge, you know?
Okay. Interesting. I kind of like that. Redeemer, as a Warlock, how do you feel what they did with the adjustments with Beyond Light? Do you think that there's a couple stuff they overtuned, like to keep you away from the class completely, or?
Yeah, I just think like people kind of figured out that you can just run from the super. Like when it first came out, like it kind of was like, it was really good because people didn't understand, but like the super, it just has no mobility. It's like Nova Warp, but like, people can just run from it. Like you're not going to catch a Stompy Hunter, you're not going to catch a Top Tree Dawn, and you're not going to catch the new Stasis Titan on the new like Warlock in your super. And like now that the neutral game isn't as strong as it was, it's just like not worth using in my opinion over Top Tree Dawn. Like there's just no reason to. Okay. It's good for quick play farming still, but like against a good Top Tree Dawn, like you're probably gonna lose, to be honest.
I mean, Top Tree Dawn is obviously still the highest highest stat class, for Warlocks anyway. The most used. It's the creme de la creme for Warlocks.
Yeah, but I really do like Stasis Titan. I think it make like Titan really needed something to make it more competitive. Like the mobility on Titan was just not good enough, and like yeah, Dune Marchers are good and everything, but they're still like it takes a special player to like fully utilize it, you know. So I think Stasis Titan definitely makes Titans way more competitive as a whole and more viable, which is good.
I like it. Let's I mean, we've talked a lot of Hunter and Warlock, but let's talk Titan for a bit. What kept you away from the class in the past, and what I mean, obviously Stasis is bringing a lot of people over to Titan, but I mean, there's some hidden gems. I've watched some really good players use things like the Top Tree Sentinel with the shield bash and everything else that held their own in tourneys.
Yeah. What can me? For me, like, ever since D1, I just don't like Titans. It's just more of like a bias thing. I just never liked them. They're very frustrating because you just. I mean, I don't want to use a stereotype, but they just kind of just mindlessly run at you and then just melee you, dude. And then with the Glacianate and the slide, dude, I hate getting killed by a slide, bro. Like, like you just gonna freeze me and then slide on me, bro. Like, dude. But I actually found myself going more to the class because of Stasis, only because of the skating. In D1, I was able to Titan skate because I clawed. So it was very fun. Like the movement was very fun. Like just going very fast and stuff. I think that's what has brought me back to like using Titan more. Before the movement. It was just mainly the movement that was the issue. Like if they had like Twilight Garrison with without like if say like last like season they had like Twilight Garrison, dude, I think Titan would be pretty competitive. Like it would compete with other classes. Wyvern's also really good with Titan and Cool Cheese, but like
oh yeah, Cool Cheese on Titan.
Not many people can be fun. Like, you know, Wyvern and Cool Cheese, you know, like I guess it's more of like a class that you have to play for so long, dude, that you're just better than everyone else at it, you know.
Do you think that Titan has this is a fun one. Which class do you think is the highest skill ceiling currently?
Ooh. Yeah,
I would say probably like the new Hunter Stasis is pretty good. Like hunters in general, like a good hunter is really difficult to beat and really annoying. Because they can just be stomping everywhere. Like the shurikens, you can basically win every shoddy fight if you use your shurikens correctly. And with the stasis grenade, you can pretty much shut down any super that's pushing you. You just throw it at the ground when they get on top of you, and you slam, and you immediately kill them. Yep. So I think my answer would be Hunter Stasis.
Okay.
For me, like I agree with the Hunter Stasis thing, but I feel like in like sixes and like comp and stuff, if you get the I don't know if it's the aspect. Yeah, it's the aspect on Warlock where once you freeze someone, it'll like track to the other person. I feel like that's really like fun to play with because then you could just freeze like 4 people
and just chain it through as you go.
Yeah, like that's very fun. Like I feel like because there was like a good minute where I was playing Warlock and like I was just throwing my melee and it was just freezing and chaining. But I don't know. I still think Warlock can be really good if you just if it's played a lot. I do agree that the super is really slow. I think if it was just the mobility was just increased a bit more, it would be much more viable. Because you realistically like the I think the bolts from the super are like I think they have infinite range. I'm not too sure like what the range is, but it seems to be like you can shoot it and it'll just like keep going until it's like a wall or something. So if you can like maybe like curve it around like corners and stuff, you could probably catch like some Icarus dash and some people running.
As long as you can time it right. That's a good point. I do think that that's got a pretty high. I'm gonna say as a whole, I still think Warlocks have the highest skill ceiling. Yeah, I really do. A really really good Dawnblade Warlock is tough to beat. I mean, you know, you match these guys like Potato and Panda that can just do these crazy things with any class they really play, but especially top Dawn, you know. We have a question in chat. Nova says, would you like to see self-res return sometime in the future? And if so, which tree of Dawnblade would you replace?
I mean, I really don't think they're ever going to add self-res back in the game. I don't know, I wouldn't really care that much. I don't think it was that good. It was just like another thing to worry about in trials, but
Yeah.
I really don't think they're gonna add it back into the game due to the fact that like it was used to solo so many activities in the raid and D1 and stuff like that they kind of like don't want that to be a thing anymore. Like,
right.
It pretty much just negated, like, I remember you could only solo Oryx if you were like a self-resing warlock because it like negated some of the mechanics. So I don't think they're gonna ever bring back self-res, but yeah, I would probably replace Bottom Tree Dawn with it.
Okay. I mean, Bottom Tree Dawn's just for PvE anyway, for the most part.
Yeah.
Ramzy, what you got?
I was gonna say, what, like for self-res, yeah, it would probably never come back. But I mean, I think they would have to sacrifice well if they were gonna bring it back for people to use it. Like, cause I don't know, I think, cause then Dawnblade would be overall like all three trees would literally be amazing, you know, because self-res is really strong in PvE, and you could just tell, like, I'm like, I don't want to say something rude, but like people who can't stay alive very well to just run that.
Right.
But I was thinking, what do you guys think about the perk where you could just turn on Sunsinger and you'd have your grenades and your melee fast? Like, yeah, how that would play out. I think it'd be pretty fun to see. Just throwing sticky nades in everywhere again. That was fun. I don't know. I know a lot of people hated that, but I found it really fun.
Do you think it'd be fun? I mean, it's fun to use, but do you think it'd be fun to go against in the trials or a scrim setting?
With
hard questions.
With
right?
like, yeah, because like I did D1 like tourneys and scrims and such, and I don't know. I don't think it was. I forgot if it was banned or if it just wasn't used, but I don't know. With the nature of the game, like,
I think it was allowed. What made it so strong was you got like a ton of extra armor, and I remember people would run Ram with that, and you would just have a ton of armor. And at the time, Firebolts were also insanely strong. Firebolts like aren't really that good in this game anymore. Like solar is much better. You can block off entire areas of the map and stuff like that.
Right.
But yeah, that's pretty much what made that so strong, was the Firebolts and the fact that you had just so much armor, and you had a one-hit melee right when you popped it, so that wasn't bad either.
I mean, it makes sense. Question from Just for Bad Gamers. Question from a trash PvP player who's only been flawless 3 out of, I'm going to go with 1.65 trillion times. Crimson or Last Word?
Is he a controller player?
He's a console player.
Oh, ooh.
So yes, controller.
I would say Last Word, honestly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Last Word is pretty strong. Like, it's really good for people aping you on shotgun. I know on PC, like, Crimson is still pretty good. Like, I played against a Crimson player today who wasn't bad. So Crimson is like a lot better now, I feel like, in the meta. But I would say Last Word on controller is just like
It's
really strong. Yeah. It's pretty insane.
I mean, Crimson's got a huge buff too this season. It's pretty nuts too. That's a tough one. That really is. All right, next question is from Lycan. What do you think of removing quick draw from pellet-based shotguns, making you have to pick between a range roll with low handling or a handling roll with low range?
I don't like that at all.
No, yeah, I don't think
yeah, that it just makes the game feel a lot more clunky, in my opinion. And I need, like, that's why I don't like the fact that they made like higher zoom snipers a thing, because it makes the game feel like not as fun. You're not as powerful, you know, as you were. So I don't like that at all, to be honest.
I don't think removing quick draw would really do anything but just make things slower, and I don't know, I kind of want to avoid making the game slower.
Do you think that
you'd
it
have
would
people
force
arguing
more
over
primary
Dragon
fights?
Shadow.
That's true.
Yeah, do you think it would actually engage more primary fights though, and kind of go for more of a gun skill type?
I mean, at that point, just do double primary if that's what you're trying to go for. Like, if you're trying that hard to nuke shotguns, just do double primaries then.
I feel like the primary fights are pretty like are more than last season. I feel like primary fights are like in a good place right now, because I think they happen they happen an amount that, you know, I'm happy with, at least.
I agree.
Yeah.
I do.
I think primaries feel a lot stronger now, more than ever. Especially 120s. 120s are pretty nuts.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good one, actually. How do you feel about 120s in scrims? Sturm,
I think they're the
True
best guns in
Prophecy,
the
things
game.
like that.
Yeah, like if you have an explosive round opening shot roll on a True Prophecy, that's really insane. And then the Sturm, if you have the Catalyst, it pretty much maxes out the range and the handling. And one of the issues with 120s is the handling is so low. So like that pretty much negates all the negative things about the Sturm, or about 120s in general. I'd say the Sturm is very strong. I'm not a huge fan of the sights myself, but
Yeah, I agree. I don't like the sights, but it's
I
strong.
I absolutely agree. I really don't, call me crazy, I don't enjoy 120s. I don't know what it is. I'm not, maybe my timing's off on it, but I always feel like I'm ghost bulleting or clicking one on, clicking one off, just because of the recoil pattern. But I don't know. That's it. It's just my personal preference. I mean, I still rock that Thorn as if it was a 150. You know. Let's see. Zexy asked a question. Says, since Fellwinters is leaving in a couple seasons, how would guys be more attuned to buffing the range of shotguns a bit, or having another seasonal shotgun like how Fellwinters was, or Adored is?
I would just like more like good shotguns and snipers in the game. Like that's what made D1 so
selection.
fun to me. Yeah, like you had a longbow, you had a 1,000-yard, you had an LDR, you had all these guns to choose from, and it seems like there's only one option for snipers and shotguns right now. I mean, there is Eye of Soul and stuff like that, but I don't know.
Well,
just
I mean,
don't
for
feel the
newer
same.
players, there's no Eye of Soul yet.
Yeah, there will be though when Trials comes back. But I would just like a lot more selection, a lot more like good shotguns, so there wasn't only one option in each slot.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I mean, Astral's good, but you have to kind of farm for that good roll, and you can only farm so much. Tokens. How do you feel about Trials tokens? Something you think is good to farm? Something you think is not good? Something you think could be tuned?
I don't know. I don't really like them that much. I think it's kind of a boring system, in my opinion. I think you should get loot from playing the game, like have them drop. You shouldn't, just spam tokens. It's not as fun or exciting as getting something to drop at the end of a match or something like that.
Right.
Yeah, and then you're there on the the last day, Monday or Tuesday, like spamming your tokens. It's just so like, because I'm just there just spamming it, and it's just so mindless, and it's just so like, man, why can't I just get loot from like playing, dude?
Right.
And I don't get why like you lose them at the end of the week. Like I've probably lost thousands and thousands of tokens just because I don't turn them in.
I do that all the time.
Yeah, I really don't understand the system. Like, I think it was fine the way it was in D1, and I don't know why they're changing so much stuff.
Yeah, last season I had a turn in your tokens command in a couple streams, so that I could hit it on Tuesday morning before reset. Just for that
It just
reason.
wasn't worth it near the end of the season. Like, I just stopped turning them in because I was like, dude, I'm not gonna get anything from this. Like, I already have like 15,000 legendary shards just like no incentive to turn these in. I have like all the materials that I can get from it. It's like I have 40,000 gunsmith materials, you know?
Right. The pains of being a PvP main. I feel that in my soul. Excuse me. All right, so we'll. I'm gonna keep watching on chat. If you could pick any weapon to come back from D1, doesn't have to be an exotic. What would it be?
Okay, I'm gonna do two answers.
That's fine.
One for PvE and one for PvP. For PvE, it would probably be Fatebringer. I don't know. That was just like my favorite gun in D1, and like it made PvE so much fun for me. For PvP, I would say probably Longbow or Her Benevolence. Just one of those snipers. Just like another really good low zoom sniper like Beloved. But I don't think they'll add another low zoom sniper in the game for whatever reason.
Did you use short gaze or did you use ambush?
I think I used ambush in year 1, and then they nerfed it, and I moved to short gaze, and I really like short gaze.
I think short gaze would be fine. Then I don't think it would be like bad to add them. I mean, they would be like, I forgot the zoom on short gaze, but it's not low zoom. I would add I would probably add Matador.
Toxic.
Matador and or what was a Party Crasher, just to have more options for shotties. And then for PvE, damn, I really enjoyed using what was it? Forgot the name. God damn it. Maybe another Vision of Confluence, or those VOG weapons were just really good. I enjoyed all that.
Yeah, the VOG weapons were definitely solid for sure.
I think Matador is a really good choice, because every time I stream, the number one question in my chat is Felwinter's coming back? Or do you think they'll bring Felwinter's back? Is Felwinter's?
Yeah.
And I have no idea, honestly, because I don't know what Bungie's up to. But I think just more options for shotguns and snipers would be much appreciated.
I mean, that always comes back to the same thing, the loot pool, you know?
Yeah.
I thought they were gonna bring it back with the little Volt thing.
Yeah, there's no way it doesn't come back. Like, the ornament was just in the store, so I think they might do it with an Iron Banner quest or something like that, but there's no way it doesn't come back at some point.
That'd be dope. I would grind for that. Let's be real. For me, I was a sniper main back in D1, and my legendary was the Haro Defiance of Yasmin. The sniper from the Taken King.
With the weird scope. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Halo sniper is really what it was. I used that shit everywhere. PvE, PvP, did not matter. It never came off. And if it did come off, it was replaced by No Land Beyond.
Okay, yeah.
I'm surprised. Yeah. I actually asked that question pretty much every single ScrimCast, and I rarely ever hear No Land Beyond as one of the picks. You know, for seeing it so much in trials, almost nobody ever says it.
Yeah, I just don't know how it would play on mouse and keyboard. It might be actually pretty strong. Just be able to click on someone's head that fast. But I don't know if what made No Land Beyond so good, despite it not having a scope and you had to reload cancel to make it good, was the flinch. It had 0 flinch until year 3 when they added all the flinch. Plus that I don't know if anyone remembers, but year 3 of D1 they just completely nuked the special ammo economy, and so everyone used that in the sidearm because it pretty much negated the special ammo economy. So that's why people use No Land Beyond so much, but I don't know how it would play on PC too well.
That's true. That's very true. And then for meme weapons, what's one thing you'd like back for pre-nerf? Something for fun that you would run in 6s or whatever.
Let me think about that.
Yeah.
For a second.
I mean, I can tell you mine straight off the top. I want a pre-nerf Vex Mythoclast.
Oh,
my
dude,
God.
yes. Oh, dude, I actually have a clip with that. It was, oh, dude, I love that gun.
Yeah, you think the sandbox is balanced now? You add that into the mix. It won't
Right.
be balanced for
40,
very long.
it did 44 to the head, dude, or 57. I
It was
forgot,
nuts. It
Oh
was
my
so
God.
much fun. So much fun. Yeah, if you want to think on it for a sec, we can roll to another question. That just for bad gamers type. He says, "What's the build in PvP that you find the most difficult to overcome? Crimson Winters, Thorn Winters, Shappy Summoner, Revoker Gnawing, etc."
Sorry, what was that? If you could add what?
No, what is the build in PvP that you find the most difficult to overcome?
Okay. Like now or in the past?
Now. Rui's really excited.
I think when I'm playing against someone who's abusing the Memento Mori Ace of Spades, that one is very frustrating, because if you don't have like the damage buff, then it's like a little strong. But I don't know, you can normally overcome Ace and Fell Hunters.
I know mine.
What you got? What's the most annoying for you to play against?
I would say 120 is like an explosive round 120 with a shatter dive. Say like if you watch like Pantho play, or someone who uses that, that's so annoying to play against in the 120s. Like they just have infinite range and they flinch you so hard. So I don't know. I'd say that's really, really annoying and difficult to play against, especially if you have like explosive rounds on that. Because like if you watch Panda, like I was watching Panda earlier, and people would be like around corners regenning their HP, and you would just shoot the floor and still be damaging them. So like there's just like, it's really hard to fight against. Like it's super annoying.
Yeah, absolutely. I 100% agree. So it's funny that you guys keep mentioning Pantho, because I mean, we can do the announcement now. One of the guests for Scrim School next week is going to be Pantho.
Nice.
Yeah, so we'll have him on here next week, and we're working on, I think it might actually be a special one, and we're gonna have 3 guests. We're working on the other 2 right now, but yeah, Pantho's gonna be on for next week, which will be sick. That'll be kind of fun. I saw another question. Hold on, Lamb had another really good one, and then Carlos, I'll jump on yours. Where'd it go? I'm scrolling back up. What's more annoying in comp, getting solo Nova bombed or solo Blade barraged?
I think you probably replace that with solo like stasis super and like solo stasis hunter now.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's pretty annoying. It's just like, why, dude? Like you just wasted that on me. But I don't know. Like it might suck at the time, but it's actually like a good thing probably that they like didn't use it to shut down a super. Right. Or like, you know, like when like if it goes to overtime in comp or something, they could use it then. But it's actually like probably a good thing that they waste super on you, honestly. So I don't really mind it. I don't get annoyed by it that much. I'm just kind of like cool at the time, but in the end, it's a good thing.
I mean, I definitely solo super as a meme.
Yeah.
Like if you're way winning, you're like, oh, surprise.
Yeah, like at that point, it doesn't matter if you're up by that much. You can just do whatever.
Or like second or third super of the game. Just like, yeah, here we are. Carlos says, how do you feel about the Mask of Bacchus bringing back Blinking Hunters?
Mask of Bacchus, what about Blinking Hunters?
Bringing back Blinking Hunters.
Okay.
So pretty much bringing Hunter Blink back.
It's actually
I don't
pretty
think
strong.
It's that. Yeah, I just think there's no point to running it over like Stompies or Dragon Shadow. I don't think it's that good. I think Stompies are still by far the best Hunter exotic to run, because like it honestly like is very bad that your dodge doesn't start regenning until 10 seconds after you dodge. Yeah, like the actual ability is very strong,
Yeah.
But I just think like Stompies, like you're just as mobile and you still have the dodge and the shatter dive. So I don't know, it's kind of like overkill and you're not getting the utility out of the Stompies. And once you do dodge, you're kind of helpless because you don't have that dodge back for so long and you're just kind of stranded there.
I agree. Do you think they should have brought it back as an actual like dodge perk?
No.
No. The Hunter main says no.
No, because dude, like it's cool. It's like it's just like gimmicky, dude. Because like when I'm playing someone who has it, and then they just fucking disappear in front of me, I'm like, dude, what is that, bro? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's like Blink has never been like good in terms of tournament, you know, and like against good players, because when you are like blinking and stuff like that, you're like helpless pretty much. But
Right.
blinking is very good for like pub stomping or against players that are kind of lost, you know. You can blink past them and, you know, like just shoddy them really quick or something like that. But against good players, they're just going to turn on you, especially on PC and especially on mouse and keyboard where they can just 180 in half a second.
Yep. No, it makes sense. I mean, I thought it was cool to see it on Warlocks. I just wish that Warlocks Nova Warp was better, you know?
The super, yeah, and the handheld
Yeah,
is really
exactly.
bad now.
Exactly. I mean, handheld will still one shot, but it does damage to you as well to get that one shot, you know?
Yeah, and it takes forever to like charge up and throw at someone too now. I used to main that actually back with Astrocyte. But yeah, the class has been destroyed. Like it used to be so much fun with Astrocyte and Nova Warping. You were so fast. Like you were one of the fastest classes in the game with that, just blinking around everywhere. But the super is terrible now. The handheld's terrible now. I think they just destroyed that class pretty much.
Yep, absolutely. Chat, do you have any more questions? Otherwise, we are going to jump into the practical portion. We're giving it a sec just to see. No. Everyone's really excited to go against you guys. My question for chat before we get into this, is there anyone new that actually wants to learn first? Yeah, anyone that actually wants to learn versus trying to go against everybody. Because the whole purpose behind this is to get students in to learn from the guests each week. And if we get students in here, I will take you both. And I will take you both and split you up on opposite teams. And then we'll rotate. That way you guys can, you know, teach the newer players separately so that they can learn the way you guys play. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I know when we first start out, we start out with the higher level and everybody wants to try and run first. But if you want to learn, speak up. I'm not the best player. I'm here learning just with you guys. So I don't want you to think that you're just going to get ran and you're not going to learn anything from it. It's an experience to be able to learn from these insane players at how they got so good at what they did. Otherwise, let's take a little break. You guys can go use the restroom to get a drink of water, whatever you want to do. We'll queue up the game, and we'll get it popping. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, chat, if you have any questions, feel free to type in chat. And gentlemen, you can talk while we're on the Be Right Back screen. And yeah, they'll be able to hear you. So we will be right back